Welcome back to what I hope is the final installment of Transformations. It certainly has felt like a slog to get through it, but these are the skills that we'll be using all along. So the graph y is equal to g of x represents a transformation of y is equal to f of x. Determine g of x in the form y is equal to a f, open brackets, b, x minus h, close bracket, plus k. In other words, here's f of x, and we always start off with f of, normally we start off with f of x. Here's g of x. We need, g of x is transformed f of x. So we need to pick out a, b, h, and k. So here are some really important thoughts, I think. Anyways, when I take a look at applying transformations, normally I would apply A because it's multiplicative. And then I'm going to go B. Why? Because it's multiplicative. And then I'm going to go H because it's multiplicative. No, I'm sorry. H is additive. And K is also additive. Fair enough. Fair enough. So where do I start? I guess I would have to start with what is A. And A really is vertical, controls the vertical stretch. Now, it gets weird, but let's just take a look at the vertical, I'll call it the verticalness. That's not a word, by the way. The verticalness of my f of x is 4. The height, if you want, but the change over here now goes from 2 to 10. This is 8. So it appears here to me, anyways, that A is equal to 2. F would be stretched by a factor of 2. Now we could draw that here. We could stretch our graph by a factor of 2 if that helps us get an image of what's going on. Sure, I like that. Let me just maybe highlight this in green so it pops on the page a little bit more. There. So really, this would be y is equal to 2 f of x. Now, the next question I have, I wonder what B controls. Well, B controls the horizontal stretch or compression. So I see B. Now, if I take a look over here, and I'm going to call it how wide did this open up. And by the way, it's naturally implied that I'm looking at this point, and this point. For some reason, these are the 3 points that sort of define this function. And when I look, how wide is the mouth of this V? It looks, or how wide is this function? It looks like this function is 8 wide. But when I go to the transform function, it only looks like it's 2 wide. So I would say B, if I was to write it in words, to go from y is equal to f of x to y is equal to this horizontally compressed, it looks like we compress by a factor of 4. So this implies that B, okay, whoa. Now, this implies that B is equal to 1/4. Now, sometimes it's hard to make that leap there, but I'm going to say we horizontally stretch. By the way, I'm forgetting the word horizontally. We horizontally stretch by 1/4. So right now, I have y is equal to 2 f 1/4. No, I'm lied here. I'm so lying. I'm so sorry. B is equal to 4. I fell into that trap, right? So b is equal to 4. And I knew that I was into trouble here because as soon as I wrote down my functional form, I know that when that coefficient of x is greater than 1, that we actually have to shrink it down horizontally. There we are. So it actually pays off to write things down. And allow me just to erase what I've done so far. Just get some of the mess out. And I'm going to take this pink highlighter, and if I compress by a factor of 4, we have this going on. That is, I multiply or divide my x values by 4, and that's what we got going on. So what we see is A and B really control the shape or orientation of this. And I believe what I have in the pink is the same shape as my resulting function. Now, all I need to do is to place the bottom, which hasn't moved, there, or place the top. Now I'm going to take this one. I need to place the top arm over there. So I'm just going to, it looks like the vertex, the bottom point, moves 7 units over to the left, 2 units up. Now I'm just going to make sure that I did that over here. Now, if I take this point 1, 8, and I move it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. Hey, that's good. And I move it 2 points up. This point maps into this image point, which is exactly what we want. So I would imagine h is equal to -7 and k is equal to 2. Now, determine the form y is equal to a, open brackets, a, f, open brackets, b, x, minus h plus k. I think I've done that. Now, I'm just going to write out my form. Y is equal to 2f, 4, x plus 7, so that's h is -7. And then add 2 would get me to my final functional form. So I hope this helps. The only thing that I'm missing that the question describes, this was hard to put together, all of these thoughts. So I may wish to revise my thinking. So I would say shift 7 units left, and that would be h is equal to -7 and k is equal to 2, pardon me. So this is a shift up 2 units. I hope this helps. This is a very difficult question. Anyways, if you have any questions, make sure you